There we go. Well, we're like technical difficulties.
The first time you were late.
The last one. Why would we not have technical difficulties? Mrs. Smith, I have a burning question to ask you before we get started. How does it feel to be done?
It's good.
It is. Because I don't think I'm grading anymore, right? Like, we're done. We're done. We're done. All you have to do out there, oh yeah, there's people watching. Out there, all you have to do is take the test. And maybe study. So that's what we wanted to talk to you about today. Who's here? Ashlyn and McGill and Grace and Lauren and Mackenzie and Keeney and Elena and Manny and Daniel and Ricardo and probably some more on the way. So we talked about it, and neither one of us feel like doing anything. We've worked hard for you this year, and we're done. We're tired. We've aged. You have aged us. You have stressed us out. That was really loud.
I can hear it echoing in your room.
Let me turn my volume down some more. So anyway, what we want to do, in all seriousness, we're done, but we're not done because we're gonna be here for you until you're done with this Keystone. Monday, you take the first part of the Keystone. Tuesday, you take the second part of the Keystone. So on Monday, part A, you should expect questions on Mrs. Smith.
Basic biological principles, chemical basis of life, homeostasis and transport, and bioenergetics. Thank you.
Right. And then on Tuesday, which a lot of people think is the easier of the two, but might not be this year because a lot of you didn't spend as much time with this material, you would be doing like the ecology evolution stuff, which we didn't get to hit very much. The genetic stuff, DNA. And what am I missing?
Cell growth and reproduction.
Cell growth and reproduction. So if you did not spend any time looking at genetics, that stuff is still a middle. Part of me wants to close every unit middle so people don't think they can still turn stuff in, but I'm going to leave it open. That's my better judgment. You could go and you could look at that stuff in middle and work through some of the genetic stuff. You go, I'm not getting points for it. No, but the goal is to pass this test on the first time. It might be worth looking at. What else can they do to prepare for this, Mrs. Smith? As I share my screen over here.
Are you talking like more review things? I mean, I think a lot of them miss that on that review like packet that we shared, there were PowerPoint slides from other teachers that were in there and other things that they could look at. Do you know what I'm talking about, Mr. Suter? Like down if you were going to go to the quizzes games that so many people did. Above that, there were, other slideshows that they could look at. And there was also your videos, because mine were pretty poorly recorded because of the equipment and you couldn't hear them. So we posted yours that we can look over to review as well.
So if you go into that Keystone review guide, it had this first part that it's frozen. It's not letting me scroll around. It had this first part that kind of told you what parts we would be going over. But then below that, where it says Module A, it tells you Monday's test. Here are the 4 things that you're going to be tested on Monday. Here are some videos. There's a video on each subject that's somebody else, not one of us, walking through that subject. There's a review slideshow there that you can look through. There's that for both sections. And then also, if you go back to the Keystone review thing, down here at the bottom, there is a biology Keystone answer key, which is actually the answer key to the study guide, where we wrote in answers to the essay questions and gave you answers to the multiple choice. So you can take what you've done and look through that. And then there's 4 videos down here. There's a Keystone Bootcamp 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now I'm going to say this. If you look at the titles, Bootcamp 1 is basic biological principles and homeostasis. 2 is chemical basis of life. And 3 is bioenergetics. And so in those little boot camps, one of the big things was to kind of map everything out and to show you how it all relates together. So what we were really trying to do is make those connections. That's why you see homeostasis up there with basic biological principles and stuff. We were trying to connect all these things together for you. Those first 3 boot camps would prepare you for test number 1. Test number 2, the boot camp, DNA, cell reproduction, probably gets into some genetics and stuff in there too, would be a good one to watch. So if it were me, Saturday and Sunday, I would probably go through those first 3. Maybe watch one tonight, one Saturday, and one Sunday. Take the first test, and then on Monday night, watch the last one and take the second test. Anything you can do. I've been told there's a cell phone app that you can download for biology keystones. I remember a couple of years ago, kids were using that.
Yeah, forgot about that.
Right. So you can get on the App Store, look in bio keystones, download the cell phone app. It is serious, and I'm afraid that some people don't think it is. But prepare yourself so you go in and you feel good about it and you do well. I'll sit. Lolly's here, Andrew's here, Ricardo. Seeing some more people pop in. Anything else, Mrs. Smith, that you would? I think the worst thing you could do is not review at all.
I mean, you have note sheets on stuff. You know, my class has used Amoeba Sisters enough that they could go on to, you know, not even Ed Puzzles, but like going on to YouTube and going to those sites and rewatching things, you know, even on like the Amoeba Sisters, like YouTube page, I think there's compilation videos that like review things. We use Mr. Anderson and Bozeman videos. You can look those up on YouTube and find other topics to help you. And like, honestly, you know, how many times do you go to YouTube and look up something to figure out how to do something? Like, oh man, like my washer's not working. I'll try to look up on YouTube and I'm like, oh yeah, common problem. Boom, watch the video, fix it. You know, if you're having trouble with cell growth and reproduction, go on YouTube and look something up and find a video that at least goes over and helps you. You know, even if it's not the one that we shared or not the one that we made, you know what you actually paid attention to this year and what you didn't.
Yeah, it's kind of like we would love if the way we explain things was the way you learned it best. But the reality says, if I have 100 students and Mrs. Smith has 100 students, that not every student is going to appreciate the way that we explain it. So if you don't, it's not something that I'd be offended by. Like, if you just don't get the way I explain it, that's fine. But then have the motivation to go out and find somebody that does. So go watch the Paul Anderson videos. Go to there's Paul Anderson and Bozeman Bio. We've used him several times. There's Khan Academy, the Amoeba Sisters, like Mrs. Smith said. There's all kinds of information out there. Preparing for this test, you know what the 4 topics are each day. You look at that sheet. You know what they're going to cover on the first day. You know what they're going to cover on the second day. Take some time and look them up and watch them. Many of you spend 8 to 10 hours. I think the average is like 6 to 8 maybe on your cell phones from the screen time I've seen. Use a little bit of that to do something productive. 6 hours of screen time isn't a bad thing unless you're TikToking the whole time.
Well, and I just thought of that. Like, there's actually some teachers that I follow on TikTok that have done some great TikTok videos of science stuff that you can look up and find things that are quick TikTok videos. I mean, if you're there anyway.
So this time, I think we're there. Mrs. Smith and I talked about opening up for questions. Do you have any questions? Is there anything in specific that like maybe just confused you this year that you'd like to ask us and have us like go over? If there is, you could put that in the chat. Put that in the chat. Make it a super chat. If you make it a super chat, we'll answer. I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to say, as you are doing that, I'm just going to reiterate the use of your scrap paper when you walk into that Keystone. You know, unlike the timed AP exams that some of you might take in the future, or maybe you took already, depending on what courses you took this year, those are timed. With Keystones, you have as much time as you want, which means that you can go in, and I call it a brain dump, but essentially you can go in and write down any information that you can remember, and that really does put your mind in the mode to start thinking. So if on day one you walk in, you grab a sheet of scrap paper, you fold it into quarters, and you label your 4 macromolecules and write down everything that you can remember about them, that's going to get yourself in the mindset of starting to think about it. If then you grab another sheet, you fold it in half, and you write the differences between cellular respiration and photosynthesis, there is another brain dump that's going to get you on there. That's on that exam. Okay, homeostasis. Maybe I'm just going to quick jot down the difference between hypertonic, isotonic, hypertonic, hypotonic, isotonic. Ooh, good tongue twister there. And maybe I'm going to write down the difference between passive and active transport. You know, like starting to anything that I can think of, even just taking 5 minutes to do that and write that down is going to help you to get, and then when you get to a question that you can like add things to, it's going to be helpful. Of course, my phone is ringing because we're in the middle of a live stream right now. Hold on. I'll be right back.
So, I don't see any questions in the chat. And at this point, guys and gals, boys and girls, we're kind of at the mindset of there's not going to be a lot of sense to us trying to take a topic and teach it in 10 minutes. You know, the test is on Monday. I would really, really suggest these 4 videos down here. I make a graphic organizer and I'm kind of like we did before, but these go a little more in detail and a little more in depth, and they really kind of wrap the whole year together. And they're a little longer. Might be a surprise or 2 in there too somewhere if you stick with all of them. But I would really take the time to try and check those out. No questions in the chat, Mrs. Smith. Not a one. So nobody wants us to talk about anything.
I don't know. Man, they must feel very, very
Confident.
confident. Get some sleep too. I'm just saying, don't stay up all night playing Fortnite or whatever you're playing.
Eat some breakfast.
These days.
Reduce your amount of time on TikTok. It makes you stupider.
Look what I found while I was cleaning. My little friend. Anybody know?
We can take the screen off now. Is there anything else, Mrs. Smith?
I just want to know if anybody knows what my giant microbe is here.
I don't think there's anybody out there anymore.
You know why? Because the students that I see that are signing on are the ones that finished up.
I was going to say, if anybody was like failing bio for the year and they passed the Keystone, we could maybe change that. But that would give them some motivation to study. But that would be worthless with this group because I don't see anybody that's failing bio for the year in this group. So.
I haven't studied.
I'm studying it slow. I'm going to keep that going. You know what? Jerk.
I'll just tell you a little story about a girl that never had to learn how to study. And then there was finally a class where I had to, and that was really hard. And I got put in my place. There will be a time where you actually need to learn how to study and how to get material in your brain and make it stay. So hope you figure that out.
Yeah, well, same thing happened to me. I didn't study at all in high school either. Then I went to college and almost got kicked out because I didn't know how. But I'm not asking, and this is a good point. Thank you, Miguel. I'm not asking anybody to study. Your idea of studying is wrong. I don't want you to have to study bio. See, the whole point of this year was to learn biology. If we learned it, if we understood it, if you understand things, you can work through them, right? And so if you watch those little videos, those little boot camp videos, that whole idea there is to try and connect those dots for you and help you understand it. Understanding something means you don't have to study. Think about something you know really well, whether it's a video game or skateboarding or different social media platforms or whatever it is. Did you study to learn that content, or do you know it because you understand it and you've spent time with it? So, Ricardo wants to know if we can play Blue Kit.
No, all right.
They just don't know how tired we are, Mrs. Smith. The emails at all times of day and night asking us to grade things turned in late. I turned this in 3 weeks late. Can you grade it now?
At 10:30,
At
11
night.
o'clock at night.
Right.
And then another one. Why haven't you answered me?
Yes.
Because I'm not in school.
We'll play Blue Kit. Pull Blue Kit up. Let's give 5 minutes of Blue Kit and then we're out.
I'm sorry, it's loading.
We'll give you a couple minutes of Blue Kit and then we're out. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I do want to say why she's loading that. I'll say this. Especially the list of people that I see here that have been here every time we've done a live stream. Thank you very much. We complain and we gripe and we moan about people making us gray and making us old.
It's just really all in fun.
No, it's not. We're really annoyed. But you people, we're not annoyed with because you guys have been great. You know, and sometimes I think, Mrs. Smith, that we spend too much time complaining about the people that aren't doing what they're supposed to do and not enough time thanking the students that do. And so
you did get extra credit just for finishing bio on time. You are correct.
So we appreciate you. Yeah, I did the same thing. People that were done with genetics, extra credit. Cool. All right. You got it?
No, it's not loading. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stall here.
Stall?
Yeah. And yes, this was a target
I thought my little sappy thank you speech would have been enough.
I'm sorry it's spinning.
I don't think I have anything cool on my desk to show. Mrs. Motter has my no pen because she was having a bad day.
This is my favorite giant microbe. I have a few. You can order them. It's actually a company that makes them. But if you've ever heard of the Nerd Herd in Gettysburg, they have them on hand. But I have a tardigrade. Somewhere I have a big petri dish of E. coli. I have the HIV. I have mononucleosis. I have rhinovirus. I haven't gotten coronavirus yet, but I want one. If you didn't notice that in my little thing all year, it's been in my little classroom. There's been the giant microbe of it. Someday I will get it, but it's been in high demand and you can't order it. I'm really sorry. I'm stalling here. It will not.
But Mrs. Smith, do you have the Lorax?
I don't have a stuffed Lorax. I have a shirt. We watched the Lorax.
He speaks for the trees.
Yeah.
Is it not going to work?
I'm okay. Well, whoa. There's a new one. It's called Crypto Hack. What happened to Gold Quest? All right, I'm not playing the new one. There we go. I'm sorry. It was taking forever.
All right, let's Blue Kit.
I'm trying. Okay. Got it. Finally.
There it is.
Whew.
Anybody that stuck around for this?
No, that was like very stressful. I'm gonna go get my box of giant microbes. Why not? I don't know if the E. coli is here. Oh, Mr. Suter signing in as something. What's it gonna be?
What do you mean?
One must always have a petri dish of E. coli on hand.
You're not right.
Well, these were gifts. These last couple, the tardigrade was from Malcolm and Alexis, and the E. coli was from Jess Reed, because they know that I love them. Who signed it as tardigrade? Is that you, Mr. Suter? Are you tardigrade?
You know that's not me. I wouldn't be able to spell that. Are we playing?
Yeah, we ready?
Yeah, we're not waiting for people today.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Here we go. Here we go.
I should point out that I didn't make this game. I just took it from something. So
I'll tell you, some of these questions are tough. I'm like what?
hey,
What? I say ATP. You say
double gold.
I can't even read the questions because people keep stealing gold from me. I can't do this. My brain. I can't do it anymore.
These are long questions. See, sometimes I can't see the pictures. I'm like, what does that say? Oh, I couldn't. Can't see whatever. Andrew stole gold from me, and it made me. I tried to get it to go away, and I pressed the wrong answer instead. It's terrible.
How is that wrong? That was a terrible question. Enzymes always speed things up. They don't get used up. They're like a key. They just make it. These questions make me want to go in these tirades about things for them.
That was a dumb question.
That was a dumb. I've gotten like 4 dumb questions.
I'm sorry. I don't, like I said,
I say they're dumb because I didn't get them right.
Woohoo! I made the top 3.
Grace, look at Grace killing it with 17. Then Ricardo in with 1,000. Boy, they destroyed you.
Where were you at, Tardigrade? Where were you at?
That wasn't Tardigrade. That was Grace.
Oh, right.
Grace must have been Tardigrade.
Mm-hmm. I doubt that.
Ricardo wrote he won. Andrew says he wins the pencil.
What pencil?
I don't know. Didn't Ricardo and Andrew have a constant battle going on over this?
It's true.
True story. All right. Hey, that's it. Thanks for tuning in and playing the game with us. And we'll see you on Monday. Wish you the best of luck on the Keystones.
Or we won't see you on Monday if you have a morning class with us, unless you're in our room, unless you're in my room.
These guys are arguing about who won and who beat who, but I'm looking at the thing and like Grace dominated. She didn't even beat you guys by a little bit. You should be embarrassed even talking about who won or who beat each other. I mean, Grace put the smackdown on all of you.
It's true. Well, hopefully I'll see some of you at Minithon tomorrow.
All right.
And those of you that I won't, guess we'll see you on Monday, some point, or Tuesday, or Wednesday, or Thursday.
All right. Peace. Have a great day, everybody.